Well, here we are a couple weeks on. I started a bunch of green onions that were in the fridge, starting to smell terrible. So I always take them out here and stick them in some dirt, and they love, this environment. And actually, they're not going to get enough. They'll get plenty of light, I guess. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and put them over here and put them underneath their own light so that they get their own space, sort of thing. These guys are still around. I'm shocked. I have no idea what they're eating or what exactly they're doing in here. Hopefully they're doing their job. There's a couple of them in here. I've seen them over. Oh, there's a couple in here right now. So maybe there's something in there that they are chowing on. But the one thing I haven't seen is a single aphid on any of... Oh, I am a liar. Look at that. Right? Isn't that a big fat aphid right there? I'm pretty sure that guy is a gigantic aphid that needs to be eaten by one of these. So maybe there is still... What I don't see, though, I don't see anything on the underside of the leaves. I don't see damage from aphids. And so maybe there's a balance between the two. See any aphids down in here? That is interesting. And I am starting to see some flowering up on top. So maybe we'll get bell peppers out of there. Oh, I do have some peppers coming underneath here. You can see that. But again, not seeing aphid damage. But I am seeing a bunch of...
Are they tiny pumpkins already there?
A bunch of ladybugs patrolling around. Now, over here, if you recall, this thing is gigantic. And what blows me away is that was outside all summer long. And its max size out summer, it was very thick. Was like here. And so you could say maybe it's getting kind of leggy, but I would argue not, because we're getting some really big leaves and we're getting a ton of flowers. Maybe that's a better view. We're getting a ton of flowers on it. So I'm interested to see when I get back. We're going to have a 2-week hiatus here where I'm gone. What is this all going to look like in 2 weeks? I also figured out I got this dumb Cherokee tomato back in a bucket, and I wasn't draining it, so I screwed some holes in the bottom of it, and it's starting to look better already, but I probably have some root rot. But look at that. We got one. There's another one down here. So maybe we're going to have some Cherokee purples that are going to make it. Oh, geez, there's one back here, too. You can see him back in the light. So we're getting some fruit starting to come along. It'll be interesting to see again what it looks like in 2 weeks. So, it's not going to die. It's got enough moisture where it's not going to get crushed. And initially when I potted it, it went just bananas. So I'm starting to see again what I hadn't been seeing, which is this dark green growth. Hopefully that should fuel everything. I've got the light set up so that it's, I think, 16 hours on, 8 hours off, something like that. I'm interested. I want to see this guy find that aphid. I want him to sneak down in here and... Sure that... I don't know. I guess I don't know what a baby... why can't I think of their names? Ladybug looks like. But this is, so this and this got potted in here the same time, same size. I got one bell pepper off of this summer. I got one bell pepper off of this summer, and they just didn't do anything for putting out like leaf mass. They just sat the same size and they fruited, and that was it. The other thing is kind of interesting. Jet and I were out here the other day, and I wanted to see if any of those seeds from the giant pumpkin that we had would do anything. I need to pull this out of here because It's one of those giant sunflowers, which I have 1,000 of those seeds. I need to kill it right now because otherwise it'll shade all of this out. It'll be huge by the time I get back. But these are the pumpkins. And Jet just kept sticking them in here. So I've got plenty of giant pumpkin seeds. The fun thing for me is like I go buy seeds once, and then if you just spend a little time, you harvest things, like dry them out, you should have an infinite number of seeds. Like all of these jalapeños, these peppers are all cultivars that I started from just seeds that I got in the store. So I don't know. We'll see. This thing, I'm curious. I gave it a ton of water, and I probably didn't need it, but oh, I need to grab this little guy out of here.
Yeah?
It's almost like they don't know what to do when there's a body of water here. Oh. Where did he go? Oh, he's right over here. Come on, climb out of there, guy. Anytime these ladybugs find water, they just whoop, fall in, dunzo. And they are difficult to film and grab at the same time. There we go. Get him dropped off on this little plant. Guy, there's food right here. There we go. Now he's on patrol. We'll see if he can find himself something. Anyway, I was going to say that this thing, I understand it looks like there's a ton of water right now, but man, it evaporates quick, and there's a bunch of soil in there, so that'll soak up. I thought for sure this maybe, had just gotten some cold and would come back, but doesn't look like it so far. So maybe they're just from a hardiness zone where any cold they just can't deal with it. So anyway, this is where things are at. This is getting moved over there, and then we're gonna let everything else go. This guy, boop, dunzo, not dealing with that. I'm gonna trim all these other pumpkins too, because they'll be the same way. They'll create a mess because they're really aggressive, which should actually take a look at that. Any seed left here? Nope. Germinated nicely. Maybe I'll plug him into here. Yeah, just see what he does under the other light. No, you guys stay out here. Other light for the next however long, and I'll leave that guy. This will be interesting to see because there's more space over there under that other light for them to go. But once they germinate, the real question is if they got enough light to make carbohydrates from that point on. So Jet is very big into watering everything, aren't you, Jet? Yeah, we got our water in our bucket. Been throwing this on it, tomato and vegetable plant food. We do it every 7 to 14 days. And I will say this, like if you're not doing this during the summer and your garden doesn't look like this, add this into it. And just, you have to be consistent. 7 to 14 days, get stuff in there, and it makes a gigantic difference.